a company where thousands of our friends and family members work, and it looks like some big changes are just around the corner for American Airlines.
You might remember US Airways has said that it wants to buy American Airlines, and that merger would create the largest airline in the world. So what's the very latest on that potential merger? Local 10's airline expert Seth Kaplan of Airline Weekly is here in the studio to fill us in on the details and what might be going on in the skies this week. Seth, is it true that this merger is becoming more and more likely by the day?
It is, Todd. And, in fact, just last night, American and US Airways issued a joint statement. So that in itself tells you that they're doing a lot of talking. What they said is that leaders from the pilots unions of both airlines have come up with a basic plan of how they might put themselves together. In past airline mergers, that's one of the biggest challenges. Sometimes when pilots unions don't see side to side, don't see eye to eye rather from both sides. So certainly a step toward a merger. Now, American's other unions, two of its major unions, flight attendants and mechanics, have already come out and said that they're in favor of a merger as well. Now, you might say, well, those are employees, important employees, but they're not making the decision, right? Well, that's where it gets interesting, because those three unions, pilots, flight attendants, and mechanics, have 3 of the 9 votes on the committee that's going to decide what happens with American. Management doesn't even have a vote.
Oh, it should be interesting. It's certainly been some turbulent times since their bankruptcy filing. What does a merger now mean for the employees and for American's hub at Miami International?
Well, Nikki, just the fact that those major work groups are supporting a merger tells you that they think it might be very positive for them. Don't forget, these are employees who have lost a lot during bankruptcy, a lot of pay and benefits. Things have gotten worse for them. US Airways actually went around American's management straight to those employees and said, hey, if this happens, we're going to be able to make things a little bit better for you. Not what you had back before bankruptcy, but better. So they think it's going to be good. Now, part of what US Airways likes about American is the Miami hub. It's one of the things that was working at American even before bankruptcy. And so certainly that's not going away. The hub is safe.
Well, what about the rest of us, Seth? What about the flying public? What's going to happen to the cost of traveling? I mean, does this mean less competition?
Yeah, Tyler, let's face it. One reason companies merge, even though they won't quite say it like this, is to eliminate a little competition, right? And maybe push up prices just a little bit. Now, with airline mergers, this is an industry that is so competitive that you don't tend to see fares shoot up overall. But you do get a few routes where things maybe get a little bit worse than others. Taking a look at a couple of those, Miami to Charlotte and Miami to Philadelphia. So those are 2 markets where right now American and US Airways compete head-to-head, just 2 airlines that would become 1 airline. And Todd and Nikki, at Fort Lauderdale, you wouldn't have any situation like that. They don't compete head-to-head in any nonstop markets. There are generally 2 connecting options among a lot of options. There'll still be plenty of other competition.
The bag fees goes up. I'm wearing the same outfit every day on vacation. Well, so many of us are addicted to frequent flyer miles, especially now that some credit cards help you save them up. We're eager to use them. Would those miles be safe if US Airways takes over American?
Yeah, Nikki, better news there, because certainly the miles will be safe. And if anything, let's say you have a few miles in one of the programs and some other miles in the other. Well, they'll go ahead and put those together. So you might end up with a merger of your own of your frequent flyer mile balances.
All right,
wow,
Seth.
that'd be cool.
It's great to have you here on Saturdays and find out about this stuff because you're the insider. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.